As we stand on the edge of a new year, there's a certain energy in the air. It's like standing on a bridge looking back at everything you've lived through and accomplished while catching a glimpse of what's just ahead. It's a natural moment to reflect, to reset, and to set the stage for a better year to come. But here's the key: reflection alone isn't enough. Hope isn't a strategy, and wishful thinking won't shift the direction of your life. You've got to take deliberate action. Most people enter a new year with a list of resolutions that barely survive January. Why is that? Because they focus on the surface instead of the roots. They set goals without building the structure that can actually support those goals. You can't just throw a coat of paint over cracked walls and expect the room to feel brand new. You've got to strip off the old paint, patch up the damage, and then apply something fresh. In other words, if you want next year to look and feel different, you've got to prepare differently. What you do in the final weeks of this year can shape how the next one unfolds. It's not about waiting for the 1st of January to flip some invisible switch. It's about building momentum now. Momentum that doesn't just push you into the new year, but carries you through it and beyond. That's why I believe there are 5 essential things you must do before the year ends. These aren't just tasks, they're principles. They're the groundwork for real success, fulfillment, and growth. And they're as practical as they are powerful. Because here's the truth: the magic isn't in the date changing, the magic is in you. But magic doesn't happen by accident. It shows up when you get intentional. When you stop drifting and start choosing on purpose how you want your life to unfold. Before the clock strikes midnight on the 31st of December, there are steps you can take to make sure you're not just reacting to life, you're designing it. And here's the beautiful part: you don't have to get it perfect. Progress is always more valuable than perfection. The goal is to position yourself so that when the new year begins, you're already in motion, already ahead of the curve, with clarity in your direction and stability beneath your feet. So as we walk through these 5 essential actions, I want you to lean in. Don't just see them as ideas, see them as commitments. Commitments to yourself, to your future, and to the person you're becoming. Because what you do now will shape where you are this time next year. And if you're aiming for an extraordinary year, it starts with the choices you make today. The first thing you must do before this year ends is to conduct an honest and thorough review of your life. Not just a quick glance, not a shallow reflection, a deep intentional examination of where you truly stand. Because here's the thing: you can't move forward effectively if you don't know where you are. Think of it like a map. If you're lost, the first step is figuring out your current location. Only then can you chart a path toward where you want to go. This review isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. It's about stepping back and asking yourself the hard questions. What worked this year? What didn't? Where did you grow? Where did you fall short? How did you spend your time? What habits helped you? Which ones hurt you? The goal is to identify patterns, both the ones that empower you and the ones that hold you back, so you can double down on what's working and shift what isn't. Start with your finances. Look at your spending, your saving, your earning. Are you in a stronger financial position than you were a year ago? Did you stick to a budget, or did spending get out of hand? Did you move closer to financial independence, or are you still stuck in the same cycle? This is where a lot of people turn away, because numbers can be uncomfortable. But ignoring the truth doesn't make it disappear. Facing it, that's the only way you grow. Next, examine your relationships. Think about the people in your life. Are your connections deeper, stronger, more meaningful than they were last year? Or have you allowed them to drift? Relationships are the heartbeat of a fulfilling life, but they take work. Have you been investing in them, giving them the care and attention they need? Or have you taken them for granted? And here's a tough one here: the relationships you need to let go of, ones that are no longer healthy, no longer aligned with your growth. That's the thing: you can't let unhealthy relationships drain your time and energy. Time is your most precious resource. And how you've spent it this year, it's worth taking a serious look. Look at what filled your days. Were those things aligned with your deeper goals, or were they just noise distractions that looked like movement but didn't bring progress? Remember, how you spend your time is how you shape your results. And don't overlook your environment. Your surroundings play a huge role in your success. Think about where you spend your time, your home, your workspace, the people you engage with. Are those environments lifting you up or pulling you down? A cluttered space breeds a cluttered mind. But a space that's clean, organized, and inspiring, that can give you the clarity and energy to thrive. Finally, check in with your sense of purpose. Do you feel like you're walking a path that aligns with your values, with your vision? Or have you been going through the motions, doing what's expected without truly feeling connected to where you're headed? Purpose isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you cultivate. Reflect on whether the way you've spent your time and energy this year truly aligns with what matters most to you as you move through this process. Write everything down. There's something powerful about seeing your thoughts on paper. It forces clarity and creates a record you can return to. Don't rush it. Take the time to dig deep and uncover the truths that will guide your next steps. The goal of this review isn't to dwell on the past, it's to learn from it. Extract the lessons from your experiences, both the wins and the losses. Every mistake you made, every setback you faced, carries a lesson if you're willing to look for it. And every success, no matter how small, holds clues about what you're capable of when you're operating at your best. Once you've completed your review, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. Celebrate your wins, even the ones that feel small. Recognize the effort you put in even if the results weren't exactly what you hoped for. This isn't about beating yourself up, it's about getting honest so you can move forward with clarity and purpose. This review is the foundation for everything else. Without it, you're guessing. With it, you're building on solid ground. So take the time to do it right. Because the clearer you are about where you stand, the more effective you'll be at creating the future you want. The third thing you must do before the year ends is create a detailed plan for eliminating distractions and obstacles. Success isn't just about what you do, it's also about what you stop doing. It's about clearing the path so you can focus on what truly matters. Think of it like pruning a tree. You remove the unnecessary branches so the tree can grow stronger, healthier, more productive. The same principle applies to your life. If you want next year to be your best yet, you need to identify and eliminate the things that are holding you back. Start by identifying your distractions. What people, habits, or patterns are draining your time and energy without adding any real value? Be brutally honest here. Whatever it is, write it down. The first step to overcoming distractions is acknowledging them. Once you've done that, the next step is setting boundaries. Boundaries protect your time, your energy, your focus. They're not about shutting people out or becoming rigid. They're about being intentional with your resources. If you find yourself saying yes out of guilt or obligation, practice saying no with confidence. Saying no to what doesn't serve you is actually saying yes to your goals, your priorities, and your future. There's another form of distraction, clutter. Not just physical clutter, but mental and emotional clutter too. Look around your environment. Is it organized or is it chaotic? A cluttered space often leads to a cluttered mind. It makes it harder to focus and stay productive. Simplify your surroundings so they support your goals instead of competing with them. And mental clutter can be just as disruptive. Negative self-talk, unproductive worries, unresolved conflicts. These things take up valuable mental real estate. Reflect on the thoughts and beliefs that might be holding you back. Are there fears you need to confront? Are there limiting beliefs you need to challenge? Replacing negativity with constructive thinking is like clearing the fog from your mind. It lets you see your path more clearly. But there will always be obstacles. While distractions are often self-imposed, obstacles are the external challenges that get in your way. Whatever your obstacles are, don't see them as permanent roadblocks. See them as problems to be solved. Every obstacle contains a potential solution, but only if you're willing to look for it. Start by breaking your obstacles into smaller, manageable pieces. If you feel like you don't have enough time, analyze how you're currently spending it. If your challenge is financial, identify specific ways to cut costs, increase income, or prioritize your spending in alignment with your goals. One of the most effective ways to eliminate distractions and overcome obstacles is to create systems. Systems are routines, processes, or tools that keep you on track. They remove the need for constant decision-making, allowing you to operate more efficiently. Accountability is another powerful tool. Share your plan with someone you trust. Ask them to hold you accountable. Be open to their feedback. Sometimes an outside perspective helps you see blind spots you might have missed. And knowing someone else is watching your progress, that alone can motivate you to stay disciplined. Finally, remember, eliminating distractions and obstacles isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing process. Life will always throw new challenges and temptations your way. That's why it's so important to regularly reassess and adjust your approach. Think of it as maintenance. Just like you clean your house or service your car, you need to periodically clean up your priorities, your habits, your environment. Clearing the way for success is one of the most liberating things you can do. When you remove the distractions and obstacles that have been holding you back, you create space for focus, for creativity, for achievement. You reclaim your time and energy and you direct them toward what truly matters. So take the time now to prune the branches, clear the clutter, and prepare the path. Because the clearer your path, the faster and farther you can go. The fourth thing you must do before the year ends is to solidify your habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They dictate your behavior, shape your outcomes, and ultimately determine your future. If you want next year to be different, you can't rely on willpower alone. You need habits, good habits that align with your goals and move you in the direction you want to go. Take a moment to reflect on your current habits. What are the routines, rituals, and behaviors that make up your days? Are they serving you or are they holding you back? Because here's the reality. Every habit you have is either a step toward your goals or a step away from them. There is no neutral ground. If you're not intentionally building good habits, you're unintentionally reinforcing bad ones. The first step in building better habits is awareness. Identify the habits that have been helping you and those that have been hurting you. Do you procrastinate? Do you have a habit of saying, I'll start tomorrow? That's a habit that needs to go. On the other hand, do you have a habit of following through on commitments even when it's difficult? That's one to keep and to strengthen. Once you've identified your habits, the next step is to focus on one or two high-impact changes. Trying to overhaul your entire life all at once is a recipe for failure. It's overwhelming, and it often leads to burnout. Instead, pick a small number of habits that will make the biggest difference in your life. Think of them as keystone habits, the ones that create a ripple effect of positive change. If you want to improve your productivity, start each day by writing down your top 3 priorities. That one little habit can influence how you organize your time, approach your tasks, and how much you accomplish. Or if it's your relationships, start setting aside time each week to connect with someone you care about. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing the right things to focus on. When you're building a new habit, start small. The mistake most people make is trying to do too much too soon. They decide they're going to exercise every day, read a book a week, or completely overhaul their diet, and then when it gets hard or they slip up, they give up altogether. But here's the truth. Consistency matters more than intensity. It's better to do a small, manageable action consistently than to go big for a few days and then quit. Think of habits like planting seeds. At first, the changes might seem small, and insignificant, but over time, they grow into something powerful. It's the principle of compounding, and it applies just as much to your actions as it does to your finances. The small positive habits you build today will multiply over time, leading to massive results in the future. One of the best ways to solidify a habit is to tie it to something you already do. If you want to start journaling, do it right after you brush your teeth each morning. If you want to build a habit of reading, do it before bed each night. By linking a new habit to an existing one, you create a trigger that reminds you to take action. And track your progress. There's something incredibly motivating about seeing your streak of consistency grow. Find a way to measure your efforts. Tracking not only keeps you accountable, but also gives you a sense of accomplishment as you see the evidence of your hard work. And don't forget to reward yourself along the way. Positive reinforcement is a powerful motivator. When you hit a milestone, celebrate your progress. The reward doesn't have to be extravagant. It just needs to remind you that your efforts are paying off. Now, here's an important point. Expect setbacks. Building new habits isn't a straight path. There will be days when you slip up, when life gets in the way, or when your motivation fades. That's normal. The key is not to let a setback become a stopping point. One missed day doesn't erase all your progress. What truly matters is how quickly you get back on track. And finally, surround yourself with support. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your habits. So if you want to stay motivated, spend time with people who inspire and encourage you. Habits are the building blocks of success. They are the actions you take consistently, day in and day out, that create the life you want to live. By focusing on the right habits and committing to them before the year even begins, you set yourself up for long-term success. Because at the end of the day, it's not what you do occasionally that shapes your life, it's what you do consistently. The fifth thing you must do before the year begins is to craft a vision for your future that is both inspiring and actionable. A clear, compelling vision acts like a compass. It gives you direction and keeps you focused. Even when the road gets rough, without a vision, you're at the mercy of circumstances, reacting to whatever comes your way. But with a vision, you have something to aim for, something that pulls you forward with purpose and determination. Start by asking yourself, where do you want to be a year from now? Don't just think about surface level details. Go deeper. What kind of person do you want to become? What kind of life do you want to live? Picture it in vivid detail. What does your ideal day look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? How do you feel? The clearer your vision, the more real it becomes, and the more motivated you'll be to make it happen. Once you have a general idea of your vision, break it down into specific areas of your life. Think about your career, finances, relationships, personal growth, and any other areas that matter to you. What do you want to achieve in each? Be ambitious, but realistic. Your vision should stretch you, but not feel impossible. It should excite you, not overwhelm you. As you craft your vision, focus on the why. Why do these goals and dreams matter to you? What's the deeper meaning behind them? A vision rooted in purpose is far more powerful than one based solely on external rewards. Wanting to earn more money is fine, but it's the reason behind that goal that gives it real power. The stronger your why, the stronger your commitment. Next, think long term. While this exercise is about preparing for the coming year, it's important to see how that year fits into the bigger picture. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 10? Your vision for the next year should align with your broader aspirations. It's about creating a cohesive plan where each step builds on the last. Now that you have a clear picture of your vision, write it down. And I don't mean just jotting a few notes in the margin of a notebook. Take the time to articulate it fully as if you're writing a story about your future. Be descriptive. Be specific. Use language that inspires you. Writing your vision solidifies it in your mind and makes it feel tangible. But here's the key. Your vision isn't just something to dream about, it's something to act on. This is where many people falter. They create a beautiful vision, but fail to translate it into action. To avoid this, identify the steps you need to take to bring your vision to life. What actions can you start taking today, this week, this month? Break it down into manageable pieces and prioritize the most important steps. Another important aspect of vision building is visualization. Take a few minutes each day to close your eyes and imagine yourself living your vision. See it in your mind's eye as vividly as possible. Feel the emotions that come with it: pride, joy, excitement, fulfillment. Visualization isn't just a feel-good exercise. It programs your subconscious mind to believe in the possibility of your vision, which then influences your thoughts and actions. As you work toward your vision, remember, it's not set in stone. Life is unpredictable, and your priorities may evolve. Be willing to adapt your vision as needed, but always stay true to your core values and aspirations. Think of your vision as a living document, something that grows and changes with you. Finally, share your vision with someone you trust. Speaking your dreams out loud gives them power, and having someone else know about your vision creates a sense of accountability. Choose someone who will support you, encourage you, and hold you to your highest potential. Their belief in your vision can bolster your own, especially on days when self-doubt creeps in. Crafting a vision for your future is one of the most empowering things you can do. It's not just about setting goals or making plans. It's about defining what success means to you and taking ownership of your life. When you have a clear vision, you're no longer just reacting to the world around you. You're creating the life you want to live, one step at a time.